Hello, gamers. We're going to be trying some new content style. I will just be yapping about some things that I've learned over the years, and I'm still learning. And I feel like it's valuable information that I want to share with you all while I do some bad gameplay on screen. Today, we're going to be talking about just some of the financial things that they don't teach you in school. And I feel like for those young adults like myself, probably like high school area, maybe going into college or maybe even out of college now, here's just things that they don't really teach you about. And I think money is just an important skill that many people don't really have or have the opportunity to learn about. And being financially literate is just, it's one of those things that can really rank you up, level you up to like the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, being down at the bottom kind of sucks, at least IRL. And so, everyone wants to level up. And so I think I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I think might help you as we all progress upwards, IRL. All right. So first things first, if y'all are in high school, if y'all are working nowadays, y'all get your first paycheck. Yeah. Boom. Big paycheck from big boss. It's like, let's just say 100 bones. You say, okay, now I got 100 bones. I've been wanting this X item. Let's say like an Xbox that's worth $100. You're like, okay, I got my paycheck. I'm gonna go spend this $100 on this Xbox, and boom. That is what we call a lifestyle creep. And it's the thing that you think you got this new money, and then you're gonna start affording things. And so I think that's really bad, and it inflates your lifestyle, and you just end up staying in the same place that you originally were. You're not having any more money than what you started with because you just immediately spent it, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't have the exact study for this, but some of the people be saying that those who have 6-figure salaries and such, they be living paycheck to paycheck too, because they also be inflating their lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And they make 6 figures, they also spend 6 figures, you know what I'm saying? So they also as broke, and I think just having the extra money in the bank is what sets you apart, you know what I'm saying? And so one of the things, as we all progress upwards and we get more money from the boss and such like that, don't fall into the consumerism traps and just buy shit that you can suddenly afford, because realistically, if you just spend all your paycheck, like, what have you gained, you know what I'm saying? And so going for it, like, these are just some very general broad topics that I've come across and learned over the years. And so I feel like this is just some of the stuff I want to share. And if y'all want me to go into further detail about a certain topic, let me know in the comments below. Yo, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share to your best friend, your mom, maybe send it to Instagram and such. And peace and love. Thank you. Bye. The second thing that I'm gonna talk about is credit scores. I think this is like a very taboo topic that people don't really know about or are afraid to talk about. But essentially, credit scores, it's like this magical score that banks and such, it shows how good you are with your money and how likely you are to repay any loans and such, right? And so the higher your credit score is, the better it is, and the more likely that the bank will give you these loans for the bigger purchases, you know what I'm saying? The score ranges from 300 to 850 or something like that. And so, let me tell you why this matters, right? When you go to buy like a big thing, like let's say a car, a house, or some shit, you know what I'm saying? These things cost like 5-digit 50 bands. A house costs like 6 figures, like 350, 250, you know what I'm saying? And in case you got the money in the bag, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be taking out a loan. And so when you go to the bank, like, yo dog, I need a loan, they're gonna check up your credit score. And if your credit score is raw bottom 300, it just shows them like, yo, this guy sucks with his money, I'm not gonna give them the money. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't buy the house and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, you need to build up this credit score. Ideally, it's, it ran from 300 to 850. So ideally, you go in like at least 700 above. You know what I'm saying? And from there, the more likely to give you better rates on your loans. They'll give you the loans in the first place, and you have better rates. And so that's also important because interest is a pain in the ass. But we don't have to go that far into detail. Simply talking, just to improve your credit score when you get a credit card, just pay that shit off in full and don't miss a payment. You know what I'm saying? Just like set the auto pay and never miss a payment, because you failing those things, it just like dings down your score, and that's just bad. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. High yield savings accounts. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Most of y'all probably have like a bank account at like Bank of America or some shit, Wells Fargo, that your parents opened with you like when you were a young little boy, little girl. You know what I'm saying? And you put your money in there and you just call it a day, right? But in those bank accounts, you're losing money. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, inflation is a thing, and that's why some people say that, remember the good old days when you go to McDonald's and you get like a Big Mac, 2 large fries, a Slurpee, you know what I'm saying, for like half a cent. Inflation is a thing, and those prices rise. So, when you put your money in a bank account, the value of the money does not rise as fast as inflation does, which is approximately like 2%, whatever, a year. And so what you need is, right, you need to go out, you need to open yourself a high yield savings account with like Citi or Ally Bank, SoFi, whatever. They give you these rates on your money, usually like 3% or some shit. And, think of it as like passive income. You know what I'm saying? You just put your money in there, and your money they'll give you interest for having your money in their bank account. They'll give you like 3% every month or some shit. And so with that passive income, your money raises 3%, and you're staying up to date with inflation. So you're not losing money by having it in your Wells Fargo bank account that pays you like 0.3%, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So get yourself a high yield savings account. You'll be good. It's passive income. Just throw your money in there. Forget about it. Moving on. We're going to talk about subscriptions, dog. I know all y'all have subscriptions. Y'all got the Netflix, y'all got the Amazon, the Spotify, the YouTubes, the whatever everyone has nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And so these companies, they prey on you forgetting that you have these things, dog. And so you end up paying, when you open the subscription with them, it's like $10 a month. That's just chill, dog. You know what I'm saying? And then one day you just forget about it, and you don't even use Netflix like once a month. And so you forget about it, and they just recharge you. And sometimes, I know some of y'all don't even check your bank accounts like at least once a month. So they charge you, you forget about it, and they just keep charging you. And you just end up racking up all this money spent on Netflix or some shit. I'm just using Netflix as an example. And they just keep charging you, and you just end up wasting money, dog. So if you got these subscriptions, take the time, check your bank account, see what you got, like what you're subscribed to, and get rid of the stuff that you don't need. Because $10 a month for one thing is like $120 a month or a year. And if you multiply that by like 4 or 5 different things that you have, that's like a crap ton of money. Like 600, 700 bands. Not bands, but stones. And you could be spending that much on something else that's more valuable to you. I don't know what that is, but think about it. Get rid of the subscriptions. Get rid of them that you don't need them. Be realistic with yourself. Because if you using, I don't know, Amazon once a month, get rid of that garbage, dog. You don't need that. For real. All right, a couple more things. Taxes, dog. We live in America, assumingly. I know that some of y'all live in America. Set aside some money for your taxes, because to be honest, I don't know much about taxes, but all I know is that you gotta set some money aside, because when the IRS come knocking down your door asking where your money at, you spend it all on some shit and you have nothing to give them, bro, there can be some issues, you know what I'm saying? So when you make the money, just cut off like 30% of it and just put it aside. I don't know what it is. That'll save you some money. I think tax returns are a thing, so you can get a little bit of that money back. But I think if you just, whenever you gain the money, put some money aside, it'll save you the trouble in the later term, and it'll be good. I'll figure out some more. I'll probably make another video on taxes when I learn more about it myself. But tax fraud and not paying taxes is supposedly illegal here in America. We don't want to get in trouble. All right, one final thing, retirement account. Assuming that some of y'all are 18, 19, 20, high school, 21, 22, 23, 24, retirement account, Roth IRA, 401k. These are some accounts that y'all can open and throw money into and just forget about it. It's your investments account, you know what I'm saying? This is your way to financial freedom for those of you who desire that. 60 years old, you will have 6 figures in at least to your name, and you can live happy, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's just guaranteed money. Compound interest is so broken. OP mechanic. It's best when you start it as early as possible. You can start that shit when you're like 18 and have that right up to 59 years old or something like that. And then by the time you hit 60 years old, just take all that money, take all those gains that you get from like investing in the S&P 500. You get it all shit tax free, dog. IRS can't do nothing about it. You getting away 5-star highs, easy, light money, light work. Okay, and so I think that's enough yapping for this episode of stuff they don't teach you in school. Hopefully y'all get a brief understanding, or at least start to care more about your finances, I guess you can say. And we could probably discuss more about certain different topics if that interests y'all, and y'all can just comment that down below, and I can yap more about what I've learned over the years about watching other YouTube videos and such. And so, get your money up. It's the new year. Let's level up together. Let's rank up. Let's build the wealth. Let's become financially free and such, And let's spend 2026. Let's grind. And let's stay humble. Get our money up, guys. Peace.